What's up, guys? It's Mike, Smokin Monkey. Welcome back to the channel. And today I've got a little bit of a different one for you. So if you guys are new around here, I usually make motorcycle videos in the summertime, but since you guys can see it's not exactly summertime around here, so I picked up a Jeep not too long ago, and I am building this guy, doing all kinds of different mods, and we're gonna be off-roading it. As you guys can see, here's a little bit of a souvenir from the last time I went off-road, and so far so good. But if you guys are new, then I will quickly go over a few things that I've done to it since I've picked it up. I picked this thing up for 2,000 bucks. I have done a bunch of work like the sway bar links. I've done some wheel bearings. I've done a new steering stabilizer. I have also done a couple other things such as a starter motor. I've painted the door handles. I have replaced the mirrors. I painted the handle on the back here. I actually purchased all 5 of these wheels because they didn't come with the vehicle. And just a few other odds and ends like bumper end caps, some grill inserts, some headlight rings, and little things like that. Now, I will be doing a lot more to it, but a lot of you guys have been asking me to make a video on how this thing drives. If you guys want to see it go off-road, I won't be doing that today. That was in the last video. But if you guys want to check out today's video, I'm going to be taking it on the road and on the highway, going through the gears, just talking about the general pros and cons of how it drives, and just letting you guys know what I like about it and what I don't like about it. So this isn't a review video. This is more of a video for anybody just looking to get one of these TJs, or anyone that's just interested in how a Jeep drives. So without further ado, let's hop in and let's go for a drive. All right, guys. So, starts right up every single time. New starter motor, new batteries, so nothing to worry about there. And as for the gas, I have a quarter tank left from the 50 liters I put in, and I have done 221.5 kilometers. So 221.5 out of 50 liters. So let's say that I used 75% of my 50 liters. So 75% of 50 liters is going to be 37.5 kilometers, 37.5 liters, my mistake, sorry. So 37.5 liters to 221. We're burning probably closer to 18 or 19 liters per 100 kilometers. So not too great, but not terrible. Hopefully we can at least get 300 kilometers out of this tank. And yeah, that is what it is. It's a 19-year-old Jeep with a 4-liter in it. You guys can feel that. You rev it up and it just moves the entire body. So there's a little bit of engine in there, there's a little bit of power in there, a little bit left, I should say, after all these years. But let's get going and let's see how it drives. Second gear, drives pretty smooth. Don't mind the windshield crack. I'm gonna fix that. That's something that I'm getting around to, but I've been sick recently, so I haven't had the chance to work on this Jeep as much as I've been wanting to over the holidays, but I'll be getting back to it soon, guys. And don't worry, just watch for my videos. There's lots more things coming for this guy. So as you guys can see, all the gears going nice and smooth. Third gear, everything works as it should. And the reason that my steering wheel is off center is because the person that did my alignment wasn't smart enough to adjust the drag link. Now, there's a little sleeve on the drag link that you can move back and forth, and there's 2 little nuts that keep it from moving back and forth while you don't want it to. So basically, it's seized on there, and you would have to heat it up with a torch to get it to move. Now, I guess this person didn't even attempt it because when I tried to do it, I was unsuccessful. I don't have a torch. But Hopefully I'll be able to rectify that soon. I'm gonna take it in somewhere and get them to adjust it for me. But as I'll show you guys in a second, it drives perfectly straight. The only thing is that the wheel isn't aligned, but everything else is aligned. I have a 4-wheel laser alignment done on this and nothing to worry about there. Driving wise, the Jeep is sound. And for a Jeep, it's not too loud, it's not too noisy. I'm quite surprised for the age and for the way that this thing is built with the minimal insulation that it has. It's actually pretty quiet in here for what it is. And we're on another stoplight, so let's see. I can show you guys going through the gears again. Starts off nice and smooth. Second goes in nice and smooth. I apologize for our shitty condition of our roads. Third gear also just slips right in. No bumps, no grinds, no weird sounds, no pop-outs. I've never had the gear pop out on me in this thing yet. And these are known for having a reverse pop-out. Never once have I had the reverse gear pop out on me or come out on me. It's actually been a flawless gearbox so far. So let's hop on the highway over here and let's go for a little bit of a run down the freeway so I can show you guys just how quick it is, because believe me, it is not. So third gear at about 2200 RPMs and floor it. Well, everyone's slowing down now, so I can't exactly show you guys. This is what we deal with here, even on the weekends, unfortunately. So let's go, 2000 RPMs, fourth gear, and to the floor. .500 RPMs. So you guys can see it doesn't climb very fast. There's a little bit of wind noise, and we're only doing about 110 kilometers an hour right now, which is about, what, 65 miles per hour for everybody watching out of the States and in Europe over there in UK. Which one thing I don't understand, explain to me guys, how come in the UK you guys use miles per hour, but you live in Europe where they use the metric system? You guys are all backwards with that. I honestly could not wrap my head around it, but maybe someone can explain it to me better. But back to this thing. So, on the highway, once again, one finger, and it drives great. If I need to change lanes, one finger, it changes lanes quite easily. No issues there, no problems. I don't have to worry about it jumping lanes. I can let go of the wheel, and it is going to travel straight down the road every single time. Let off the gas, put on the gas. It doesn't make a difference. The road is curving a bit, but you guys can see that it's not pulling in any direction. It's going pretty straight. And with the amount of wind pressure on the body, because of the shape of it, you guys can see it's kind of like a toaster. I'm surprised with how well it actually moves down the road and doesn't get tossed around. It moves quite well, and it has a lot of stability for something this small and this tall, because the taller these get, the harder they are to control, especially because of the wind. But this one is completely stock, so there's no issues, no kind of weird vibrations. I can drive this thing on the highway all day long, and it's actually more comfortable than my 2008 Honda Civic. So we've been traveling down the highway for about 5 minutes now. As you guys can see, it drives pretty smooth. It's relatively quiet. It's not terribly uncomfortable either. It's actually pretty comfortable for myself where I'm sitting. I'm sure you guys at home are a little bit more comfortable than me right now, but it's not too bad. And the vibrations aren't terrible. You guys are vibrating over there a bit more than I would be, because my seat is cushioned and I feel pretty dampened from the vibrations. But you guys are connected right to the window, to the body, so with all the wind blowing on the door and with all the wind pressure blowing on the body, there will be some vibrations on the body, but nothing that you actually notice or
care about while you're actually driving in the vehicle. It's not something that bothers you. I'm just gonna get off the highway here now so that it quiets down a little bit and I can continue talking to you guys at a normal level and it's not so crazy and it's not vibrating you guys so much. So driving it around in the city, or on any road I should say, is very nice because you sit very high up. As you guys can see almost everything. And the beauty of it is you actually sit higher than a lot of SUVs. So when you're going around and driving through traffic, you can see where there's going to be somebody sitting there or where the traffic is moving slower, and just get around it easier because this isn't a sports car. You're not going to be driving very fast, but you will be able to maneuver it enough that you can get yourself there quicker because you can see the traffic. And one thing that I will mention is the handling. It drives all right, it handles good, but because of the higher center of gravity, you don't really want to be taking corners too high up. You don't want to be taking corners too sharply or too quickly because you are sitting high up and you have a quicker, and because of that, it's easier for you to lose traction and to skid out, or worst comes to worst, you could roll, which is not very likely, but if you're going quite quickly, let's say on an on-ramp or something like that, it is a possibility. So just keep in mind, whenever driving an SUV or a Jeep or anything that's higher up than a regular vehicle, just take it easy on the corners, don't go too nuts, and make sure that you leave yourself enough room that you don't have to cut the corner too quickly and you guys can actually take it safely. In the city, I almost never use fifth gear. Right now, I'm cruising at 70 kilometers an hour at 1500 RPMs in fourth gear. I almost never find the use for fifth gear in the city. I think that that's kind of nice because I don't have to go through the gears as much in this thing. And it being standard makes it a lot more fun to drive because I just love driving standard. It's more intuitive, you feel more connected to the vehicle. And when you go off-road, you throw it in 4 low, it's easy to creep down a hill or to descend a hill with control, not having to sit on the brakes, because you'll get brake fade eventually doing that all day, and something could go wrong, and you don't want to have to go down the hill and not be able to stop. So it's always nice to have that extra little bit of control. But she runs very quiet. It idles great. It has awesome brakes. If I need to stop, it stops. It's never given me any kind of a worry or a doubt that it's not going to stop. It actually doesn't have ABS, so in the winter or in the wet conditions such as snow, you will lock up the tires, so you have to take it easy. You have to be careful and be mindful of that. 10 minutes and it is toasty warm in here because it's such a small cab, and the engine actually warms up amazingly fast in this, faster than anything I've driven. So it just keeps you very nice, very comfortable, and it's a great all-around vehicle. I guess in the summertime it'll be great once I get the roof off and I have that airflow, but in the winter it heats up really nice, and I've never had an issue where I'm driving around and it doesn't want to get warm on me or anything like that. And living here in Canada, believe me, that's a big deal. A lot of people complain that their cars take too long to heat up. This is amazing for winter. As for my future plans for this build, I will be getting some awesome tires soon so we can go and do some off-roading, some real off-roading. And I will be planning on lifting it, but after doing my research, it involves a lot more parts than I thought. Because the rear drive shaft is such a small drive shaft in this vehicle, you can't get away with lifting it higher than 2 inches with the stock drive shaft, and that'll still include you doing a transfer case drop. So to rectify that, you have to get a constant velocity or a CV shaft in the back for the drive shaft, and one of those is around $600 to $800 depending on where you get it here in Canada, and the adapter to fit that onto the transfer case is another $300. So I will be purchasing that but it is a slight setback, so it's going to take me just a little bit longer to get those pieces and get those items together to create that kit so that I can do it properly, because I don't want to be doing it half-ass and having to replace U-joints and have driveline vibrations and things like that, because the Jeep drives good now, so I'm not going to sacrifice drivability for a little bit of off-road clearance. That doesn't make sense to me. We'll do the Jeep the right way the first time. So I think that I'm going to collect the parts and off-road it as I'm collecting the parts for now, so that we can still go out and have some fun and hit some trails. So I'm going to go and pick up some tires as soon as possible and get this thing out on the trails for you guys, get some good footage and get some awesome videos out for you guys, just so you guys can see exactly what you can do with a stock Jeep, so that you guys can go out there and get dirty, have some fun, and just, yeah, have fun. Because what's better than going out and having fun with your vehicles? That's the best way to enjoy them, because taking something like this and driving it around to get groceries and going to work is all fun, and that's great. That's what you should use it for. But at the end of the day, don't buy something that you're too afraid to use what it's made for. I know a lot of people that buy fast luxury cars and they won't drive them fast. I know a lot of people that drive Jeeps and they won't drive them off-road. Buy something you're going to enjoy, buy something that you're going to have fun with, and something you're not going to be scared to drive.
Well, there you have it, guys. That's how it drives. Not too shabby. I'm actually impressed with what we got here, and only thing we need to do is get some better tires going. As you guys can see, these don't have too much life left on them, but they did all right last time I took them off-road. I was actually surprised, and we will be doing a couple more trails until I get some new tires, just because I don't want to wait, and if I get stuck, then I'll get stuck and it'll be a better video for you guys, but hopefully I don't. But either way, I'm willing to take the chance. I don't care anymore. I just want to get out there. As you guys can see, I still haven't washed her from the last time, but it's not too bad under here. There's a little bit of mud, a little bit of dirt, which is what you want to see. So that's about it for today's video, guys. I will be doing some more videos with this thing soon. I'm planning to lift up the carpets and see how bad the floors are and attack the floors, sand them down, seal them, paint them, whatever needs to be done. So stick around for that. And I will be rebuilding the back hatch soon. I'm going to be purchasing new hinges and new support struts for both sides. So if you guys want to see how that's done and how that's going to turn out, then definitely stick around for that video. But one thing that I forgot to show you guys is after I went off-roading, it fixed my rusty and stuck tailgate. Like, look how buttery smooth that tailgate is. Like, literally one finger. Beautiful. Like, that is exactly how you want your tailgate to be. So I'm surprised. I think that after going off-road, it kind of just jostled it around in these hinges here and all the rust came out, because I did spray some grease in there, and I guess it made a hell of a difference because they run like new. And on that note, guys, I'm going to be signing off here. So thank you for sticking around this long, if you did stick around this long, and don't forget to leave me a like and a comment. Consider subscribing, because there's lots more coming your way. And until next time, guys, ride safe out there. Peace.